Let's go! Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see them as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked? Bella Verita, I do think that worked. And it's Tom Goldstein's Heart of Influence. It's Mastery Monday. It's the middle of summer, but sometimes the middle of summer can be the greatest time to build everything. So Bella Verita, we're exploring the superpower of integrous influence. Thanks everybody for being here. And who are these heart-centered, growth-minded people that Tom has assembled?
Sean, these growth-minded, heart-centered individual for Tom's corporate counsel and business solutions, Heart of Influence. That's who these people are. And first up, from Charleston County, South Carolina, founder and CEO of a nonprofit optimization firm assessing and improving various aspects of business, profitability, cost management, operational efficiency, and generation and capture, working best with leaders to motivate with the same focus. A unique vision for her company, valuing relationships, always doing right by others. Let's welcome to the show, Karina Bell.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Karina, thrilled to have you here. Welcome to the Heart of Influence. And a headline fun fact would be amazing because Plato, Karina and everybody, the Greek philosopher, shared, play a game with me for an hour. And we will learn more about each other than if we speak for a year. And again, we kick this game off with a headline fun fact, adventurous moment, proud moment, surprising moment, funny moment, anything, Karina, that would make us say, Karina, no way. So please, Karina, your headline fun fact.
My fun fact is I taught myself how to play the steel drum. I enjoy Caribbean music so much that I decided to buy the drum from Trinidad and taught myself how to play it. And now that is one of the most relaxing things I do.
Wow.
Karina, we're rocking. And what is your favorite song to play on the steel drum?
Banana Wind by Jimmy Buffett.
Oh, God rest his soul. Deeply moved by Jimmy Buffett all the time, for sure. Big, authentic fan. Bella, when a pirate looks at 40, like that's rocking. And by the way, I'm going to rock down to Electric Avenue, Karina, and we'll see you in a little bit. So thank you, Karina, for being here. Bella Verita, who's joining Karina?
Joining Karina from Bushwick, Maine, partner at a law firm, heading cannabis banking practice. And just quick fun fact, when I first read that line, I thought it said partner at a law firm spearheading cannabis banking, or excuse me, baking practice, and was what my dyslexia saw. I was like, partner law firm and baking cannabis. I'm not so sure that these go hand in hand, but it is not banking. It is not baking. It is banking. Worked for 6 years with Maine Bureau of Financial Institution, a former bank regulator attorney who's probably not baking cannabis, a credit union for close to 10 years as general counsel at a credit union, managed his high-risk accounts, now consulting with banks and credit unions on their cannabis account programs. Banking cannabis, not baking cannabis. Let's welcome Chris Van Dyke.
Chris, welcome to Tom's Heart of Influence. Thanks so much for being here. And please, your fun fact.
And you're on mute.
That cannabis is getting to you, Chris, and you're staying on mute. There you go.
Yeah, thanks so much. I just wanted to say it's great to be here, Sean. I read a lot about you. Very, very inspiring. My fun fact is that I am a twin. And my twin brother, Tim Van Dyke, is 4 minutes younger than me. And I never let him forget that. We were very, very competitive in high school, and our interests were the same. We both participated in the same athletics, and we were very close academically as well.
Wow.
But we're extremely close right now, and we do a lot of winter and summer hiking up here in the backwoodlands of Maine. And if anyone's done any backwoods hiking, you know you've got to have a good partner with you. So, twin brother is a good partner indeed.
Chris, that's awesome. Quick question: what athletics did you guys participate in?
We were both competitive swimmers.
Ooh, and who was faster? Or did you do different events?
So we both started out backstroke because we didn't even know how to breathe. But then I turned into a freestyler, and Tim continued with his backstroke, which made the competition a little bit easier.
Understood. And then Chris, most importantly, who had a higher GPA?
I did a little bit. I think I struck it a little bit lucky on the day that we took our LSATs and our final tests. But we were very close. We were very close.
So what I'm hearing is we have the smarter Van Dyke. Is that what I'm hearing, Chris?
Smarter, older, wiser.
Let's go. Smarter, older, wiser, and better looking Van Dyke, even though I'm blind. So Bella, let's go.
So next
Tim would disagree with the better looking, by the
way. That's awesome. Next up from Keswick, Washington, seasoned coach with 25 years of leadership experience, specializing in executive coaching and leadership development, caters to the unique needs of clients in the neurospicy category, those working in STEM and DEI, helping leaders overcome challenges like imposter syndrome, building accountability, trust, and emotional intelligence. Let's welcome to the show, Kara Jean Wilson.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so excited.
Thank you. And it's Kara Jean?
It is. Okay. So maybe we'll use that as my fun fact. That's not the one I was going to use. But fun fact, the reason I go by Kara Jean is when I first started my own company and launched individually, when I was told if you're going to be on stages, you better be the first thing that comes up when Googled, right? Like it's got to be you. And there was another Kara Wilson who had a different job. She worked as a lady of the night. No shade. Love that for her. Not what I do. Interestingly enough, if you Google Kara or Kara Jean, now it's all me. So it sounds like I'm a liar when I went and looked it up because she no longer exists. I've blocked her out. Sorry, other Kara.
That is Kara Jean. Okay. 8,000 people have been on this show. That is now a top 3 fun fact that somebody literally altered their name to be ahead of a lady of the night who is a speaker and trainer and supporter of people in leadership development, focusing on, at some level, DEI. Thank you for that as a blind man. And that is unquestionably a top 10, if not top 3, all-time fun fact on the show. Kara Jean, thank you for making my day and my week and the month of July. And welcome to Tom's show. Bella Vrita, extraordinary people. Tom is awesome. Let's go.
Let's go. Coming from my home city, Austin, Texas, VP of sales at a firm, getting founders and fund managers in front of quality investors to pitch. An entrepreneur who has worked in a variety of different sales roles in his career, brings unique insight after having thousands of conversations with founders of all different stages and verticals looking to raise venture capital. Let's welcome to the show, Connor Nolan.
Thank you.
Connor, super cool background. Welcome to Tom's Heart of Influence, and please your fun fact.
Yeah, I went with the most adventurous thing I think I've ever done, which was scuba diving with tiger sharks in the Bahamas.
Was this at Tiger Beach?
Yes, with Jim
Dude,
Abernathy.
Unbelievable. And how I haven't been, it is super high up the bucket list. So what would you give in terms of your quick headline review of Tiger Beach?
Must go.
Let's go. Bella Vrita, you are
Connor,
hearing it
he
from
keeps telling me
source.
he wants to take me there, but I think it's because he wants to feed me to the sharks, so I'm very reluctant to going.
They're nice. They're like big goldfish, Bella. It's time.
Yes, it is time. Connor, thank you for that. And Bella, I only want to feed you the sharks about 3 days a year, but hopefully it will not be one of those days. Connor, thank you. Bella, let's go.
Next up, Roland from Marblehead, Massachusetts, founder and president of a law firm consulting company, consulting with lawyers, partners, and small to mid-sized law firms. Specialize in strategy, law firm management, and finance to improve operations, streamline processes, and scale revenue. Has advised and led acquisitions, relocations, succession planning, restructuring, and startup, an MBA, certified legal manager, and a certified professional coach. Let's welcome to the show, Margaret Burke.
Margaret, congratulations on impacting the complex and challenging legal profession the way you have. Thank you for being here on Tom's Heart of Influence and your fun fact, Margaret, please.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. My bio definitely needs to be shortened for the next call. So my fun fact is during my extended holiday dinners for the past 10 years, I cater the dinner and I make pretend I cooked it. And this is a typical, the cover up is worse than the lie situation. I did it a few years ago, about 10 years ago, because I didn't have time to cook. And now every year people ask for my special dishes. So I now every year have to go out and buy the food. And I hope my family doesn't listen to the show because no one has any idea.
Is this a true fun fact? Like you literally are able to sneak the food in and they don't know?
So it's not my family that lives with me. It's my extended family who all come over. And
yeah, I get it. So, but you have to
ditch in the containers.
I ditch the containers and I take out pans and I put the food in pans and I pretend I cooked it. And
Margaret,
yeah.
I'm not joking. This is 2 top 10 fun facts ever on the same show. Tom has the most valuable show in the history of this 1,200 episodes. This is incredible. Incredible. Margaret, thank you for making my month. Also, Bella, I love weird. This is like weird personified. This is amazing. Margaret, thank you. Yes, Bella Vrita, we have masters here. Let's go.
We definitely have masters, another master from Washington, D.C., a business owner specializing in data analytics, statistical modeling, started his business in partner with in 2020, initially pro bono agency, shifting in 2023 towards NBA analytics, currently working on a product launch and having partnered with other local companies in its initiative. Let's welcome to the show, Alejandra Fuentes.
Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely been a grind. So a fun fact about me is I'm a sucker for jazz music. I've loved jazz since I've been a little kid. I started playing piano when I was about 4 years old. I have a Steinway & Sons in my basement, and on the weekends I get back and I teach kids jazz, and it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for being here, present to the love of jazz and the commitment to it. And you have a little bit of fun. Maybe not as much fun as jazz music, but a little bit of fun today.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's go, Bella. Absolutely. We got this. Come on, Belle.
Absolutely, we got this. Coming from the windy city, Chicago, Illinois, coaching all types of business owners how to optimize their businesses and best practice for the ultimate outcome, and a rabbi teaching Jewish topics to Jewish business professionals of any affiliation on a nonprofit basis. In Jewish education for 10 years, began meeting most professionals for the nonprofit in Starbucks 7 years ago, and lost the opportunity during COVID, saw an additional impact that he could have coaching them virtually on a personal level through business growth and development. Let's welcome to the show, Baruch Tumen.
And is it Baruch?
Very, very close. Baruch. You got it right then.
Yeah, the ending part I'm going to really struggle with, and I don't want to butcher. So I'm all for trying things, but I don't want to say. So Baruch? No.
Very close. We'll take it.
Okay, my apologies. That definitely my suboptimal dynamic. So please, your fun fact.
Fun fact is that I survived playing on the ultimate Frisbee team on the collegiate level for all of 2 weeks when I was in college.
That is
and why
awesome.
I say they survived is because if anybody have ever noticed, you have to actually be being supplied from one of the clients of Chris over there in order to actually manage what those guys do on the field.
And what is it where'd you go to school?
I went to UC Berkeley, also known as UC Berkeley.
Whoa. So you went to a very right-wing conservative institution. Is that correct?
That had nothing to do with cannabis at the time on their campus at all.
Which would, in our corollary fun fact, I'll just add for now, is I went to Columbia University. So we went to the right-wing conservative left coast and right coast schools. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what you're hearing. Exactly.
Yes, that is amazing. So Berkeley's in the building, Bella Verita. Maybe some of your friends hung out there. Some of my friends were there at Columbia. But yes, lots to talk about. But please continue, Bella Verita.
Our friends were hanging out there. And last but not least, from Washington, D.C., practiced at one of the largest firms in the world and spent a decade as a headhunter for firms, founding his own firm about 12 years ago, practicing business law nationwide, grown to 20 attorneys, many that have owned companies and have been CEOs for well-funded startups, working with clients, providing networking relationships, and helping raise capital in crypto, blockchain, and cannabis. Let's welcome to the show, Mr. Tom Goldstein.
Yeah, Tom, thank you for assembling such an awesome group of people. Heart-centered, brilliant, sophisticated, growth-minded. I just felt it. Really great job. And the coolest, most bizarre fun facts ever in one show. So thank you for that, brother. And please, Tom, your fun fact.
Well, that's a very high bar to, I'm not going to match some of the amazing fun facts, but I will say that over the last 10 years, I have averaged either walking, jogging, or using the elliptical machine an average of 10 miles a day.
Wow. For how long?
10 years. I've averaged over 10 miles, more than 10 miles, a little bit over 10 miles. I think my best year was 2020 when I averaged like about 11.5.
Dude, that's crazy. I didn't know that about you. That is like what? So yeah, I have like 800 questions, but we don't have time for them. That is amazing. Absolutely. You know, I presume that you're in, and I know you, but I'm blind, so I can't check this out. So you must be in extraordinary physical condition, Tom.
Well, you would think, but let's just say I like to eat a lot.
Well, dude, I love it. Eat up and work it off on the elliptical and the things. Tom, it's awesome. So, brother, are you ready to begin our fun extravaganza?
Absolutely.
Let's go get it. Great job, Tom. I'm going to introduce our co-host. This woman started selling crafts on her parents' front lawn as an 8-year-old to begin her career at Influence. By the age of 19, she was a seven-figure business generator in the space of network marketing. Who does that? Little at 19. That's not easy. 24, 25, and 26 years old. She's three-peating like Jordan, but at 5'3", not in hoops. She's not raining threes, but she's raining three-peats as Nevada's #1 business broker, male-dominated industry. She's the first woman ever to be #1, let alone do it 3 straight times, and youngest person, male or female, to ever be Nevada's #1 business broker. She then begins to train entrepreneurs and Fortune 500 companies. In 2019, in fact, every sales team she trained and worked with doubled their sales. She's a skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer overall. Maybe she learned it from a blind man. Maybe she learned this on YouTube. Depends on the stock of the blind man on that day. I think mine is like okay today. Then she raised 8 figures in philanthropy with the Unblinded team over the past 2.5 years. And she's also a 2-time, about to be 3-time, and soon 4-time published author. And this woman who put the term heart in the heart of influence began and battled her journey with cancer in 2023 and defeated it, just celebrating her anniversary recently of defeating cancer. Let's welcome to her show, the heart of influence, Bella Verita. Miss Bella Verita, welcome to your show, and please, your fun fact.
Yes, Sean, I think I'm going to go with the fun fact today is I'm going to take sole credit for why, Chris and Tom are doing business in the cannabis space now, because I definitely rose the value of cannabis space in high school by selling cannabis, although I don't do that anymore. But that definitely was one of my first careers in sales as I graduated. But now I'm in pastoral school. And so my fun fact is I've gone from drug dealer to God dealer in my life. So that's my fun fact for today.
And you had a great marketing component to your business, did you not?
In my cannabis business? Yes.
Yeah. And what was that?
In the cannabis business, I would sit in my house, and it was my drive-through window that people in school would come up to, and I would slide open the window and hand out dime sacks as they were getting a cheeseburger.
Yes. And didn't you also have a vehicle that was a marketing component?
Yes. I also drove a green Jeep Cherokee that said "Smoke on" the side. Yes.
Bella,
Well, that wasn't conspicuous in high school at all.
Not at all. Bella, got it. Let's go.
Let's go. Let me introduce my co-host, a man that has never partaken in any cannabis of the sort. So sorry, Chris and Tom, he's not helping your industry at all. But he is only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016. And in fact, the state of New Jersey has actually named him one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys. He has spoken on stages such as Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, Tony Robbins 18 times. In fact, Tony Robbins actually called him a dear friend. When he's not speaking on these big stages, he is an incredible philanthropist that last year raised nearly $10 million for refugees in the Ukraine. Let's welcome my co-host, Mr. Sean Callagy.
Thank you, Bella. Thank you. Thank you, Bella. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And here's my fun fact. Bella is correct. I have never smoked, never done any drug. I pretty much don't drink. I have no judgment around it. I just don't. And in college, the closest I got at Columbia University on the Intrepid, the big retired warship, I held a marijuana cigarette, as Bella loves when I call it that. And the next time I did, and I didn't smoke, I just passed it. But the next time I was in a circle, I passed, did not puff to Bella, who puff passed, but her pass was in our little 10-person group to the one and only rock star Melissa Etheridge, as we were in a private setting with Melissa, and who's a dear friend of friends of ours. And so Bella puff, puff, pass to Melissa Etheridge, and I pass, but did not puff. That is my fun fact for today, Bella.
That is a fun fact, Sean. And in my defense, it was Melissa Etheridge's very own cannabis, so I couldn't very well disrespect her and not partake.
This is very true. I totally understand. So, Bella, who's going first?
Let's kick this off with Miss Karina Bell.
Okay, Karina, made a little fun, made some introductions, but we're up to serious things here, Karina. This might be not a R&D laboratory for the space of Integris influence, because pitching, hooking, closing, not sure how you, Karina, everybody else feels about it, but I'm like, yuck, that's not working. But how does influence actually work in the world with heart-centered, growth-minded, sophisticated professionals? That's what this is all about. So to illustrate this, Karina, Bella's going to be anybody you would like her to be that you would be going from hello to yes with. That'd be valuable for you. She could be a potential ideal client. She could, heck, be somebody famous like Oprah Winfrey or Warren Buffett, or simply a philanthropic fundraising partner. Any yes that would make sense to you, whether it's in leadership, management, marketing, or selling, recruitment, fundraising for profit or not, whatever would make sense for you. So Karina, please, who would you like Bella Verita to be that you're going from hello to yes with? Footnote, it could just be a yes for a longer conversation. It doesn't have to be the ultimate yes. So Karina, please.
My natural inclination is to go to a potential client. However, given the broad spectrum of the options, I feel that some of my strengths are more into mindset and leadership.
Awesome. So would you like Bella to be somebody you're leading or managing, or about a leadership and management program? Who would you like Bella to be?
Bella, if you could be someone who has aspirations within the company and you're not quite confident in it.
Cool.
I would like to be Sean's boss someday, and I'm not quite sure how to get there.
Let's go, Bella.
Great, Bella. That is fantastic. What makes you think, or what is it about Sean's position in wanting to be his boss that really motivates you to aspire to that?
Ooh, that is a very good question. And, Sean has a great leadership style. I mean, he built and sold his first law firm 2 years out of law school, had 40 people working for him, then started another law firm, 120-person law firm today, which he drives. And, the firm operates like a peak performance sports team, like a team that's going to the Super Bowl. And, I just think we need to add some femininity into it and some heart into it and, do more fun things as a team. Like, we all work really hard. And, I think maybe we should start taking like Fridays off and going to the water park or going to ride roller coaster today. I just think bringing in some more fun would bring in some different camaraderie, and, who knows what would happen.
And you know what, Bella, as you were saying that to me, I had a vision of Formula One racing cars, because you are both fast trackers. There are no passenger seats in the Formula One cars. You are each your own driver, and you're taking your own path. And I think that is where you need to identify how you can be different from Sean and not be Sean. Does that make sense? And I see in you, what I see in you are the qualities of someone who is outgoing and bold and fearless. However, I see your path is very different from Sean's, even in the future. Do you see that too?
I do see that. So if our paths are so different and we're so different, how do I make my way to being his boss? Like, because I think he should retire, or at least go part-time and let me take over some things. Maybe he even should retire from doing the show and I should just take it over altogether.
That's a great idea. Have you talked to Sean about that? Have you talked to him about your goals and your aspirations? Does he know that is what you would like to aspire to?
Oh, I don't know if I could do that. What if he tries to fire me?
Well, you also want to think about his goals and aspirations. What are the things that are motivating him? How can you help him get to his goals while also achieving and exceeding your own goals? Because you're both very strategic people, you're both visionaries. How can you blend your visions together to create a vision that is not one time bigger than Sean, but it's an exponential vision? The vision is exponentially bigger than the both of you.
Yes. I really like that, Karina, and I do unfortunately have to run, but I do know one of his goals is to sit in the very back of an 80,000 person stadium. So I think the sooner that we can get him back there, the better. So maybe we can have a longer conversation to see, what we do to start supporting his, moving to the back of the stadium.
Bella, it's so beautiful. I just came in that it's such a wonderful thing that you're saying. I'm really appreciative, and thank you, Karina, for this. And I could always trust in Bella having my best interest at heart. Thank you, Bella. Karina, awesome job. We're gonna get back to the feedbackers in a moment. I got my eye on you, Bella Verita. Let's go.
I know you do. I know you do. And Karina, that was a really fantastic job. At you're someone that I would definitely trust. That would not be supporting anyone and taking over anything. So great job, Karina and Sean.
Awesome. Yes.
Nobody could do the job that you can do. I'm clear on that. But next, I don't even know about that. But next up, we got Chris Van Dyke.
Chris, who would you like Bella to be, please, that you're going from hello to yes with? She could even be your brother. Let's go.
Okay, I would like Bella to be a very conservatively minded CEO of a small community bank who has not gotten into cannabis banking.
Yeah, so you're afraid of risk, like super risk intolerant, have not gotten into cannabis yet, Bella. So like risk averse. Take us in.
Okay. Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. My name is Chris Van Dyke. How are you today?
I'm doing pretty well, Chris. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. I know these are tough times for banks and with deposit growth and income growth. And I'm just wondering if you are interested in exploring different ways of increasing your return on assets, increasing your deposit growth, and increasing your loan growth all at the same time. Would that be of interest to you?
I mean, as a bank, of course, those are of interest for sure.
So I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a former bank regulator. I'm very straight-laced. I worked as a bank regulator for 6 years and was a BSA officer and general counsel. And I've been living and breathing cannabis banking for 14 years altogether. And I'm just wondering what your thoughts are about cannabis banking.
Chris, other people have approached me with this, but this is just not a space that we want to enter. It's not our brand, not where we want to go, not what we want to be associated with.
I understand that. I've heard that from other banks and credit unions as well. And why is that, Bella?
I just, I think people that are associated with cannabis are, just a certain demographic, and that's just not who we want to do business with.
Yep, completely understand that. And you're right about.
I don't want people coming into my bank that stink all the time.
So the days of the stoner owner are long gone now. These folks that used to run, these small businesses that weren't very sophisticated, those days are gone. And the folks who are actually running cannabis businesses now are fairly sophisticated entrepreneurs. They understand finance, they understand banking, and they're in a highly regulated industry, which actually makes them a fairly safe demographic from a financial institution's point of view. And the other thing I'd like to say too is that one can be for cannabis banking, but not necessarily for cannabis. To be involved in cannabis banking means that you're actually making your community safer by safely vaulting these businesses money, and you're actually making filings. And so you're actually helping law enforcement. It's pro law enforcement and it's
Got it.
pro regulation.
Well, as long as I'm not vaulting any of their cannabis, I am willing to. I'm still not there yet, if it makes sense for us, but I got to run right now. So, maybe we can sit down, have a little bit longer of a conversation.
Bella, thank you so much for your time. And that sounds like a great idea. Maybe I could call you back in a month.
That sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Great job, Chris. Great job, Kirby.
Banking cannabis. That sounds like Bud Bank Bella, I think sounds like a good bank.
Yes, Bella's Pink Bud Bank. That's what I'm hearing.
Even better. Love it.
Yes, let's get to the feedbackers on Tom's Heart of Influence.
All right, let's get to the feedbackers, otherwise known as judges. Judges, this is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. So we're going to provide 30 seconds. That's 30 seconds of feedback to either Karina or Chris, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then a little scoring next step system. Is the next step you'd rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have to have a longer meeting with Karina or Chris? I don't think anybody's wanting a root canal today. They were pretty good. So maybe that next step is a little mocha chocolate and a little croissante at Starbucks to have a little bit longer of a meeting, get to know them. But if you already know that's not enough time and you want more time, maybe you would be willing to rent a private room at the Capitol Grill, getting the seafood tower and the nice juicy steak. Unless you're vegan, of course, maybe you're having like salad and French fries, but you're not going to skip out on dessert because you do want to have the longest meeting possible with Chris or Karina. But if that's still not enough time, you're so intrigued, so impressed, and you need to know all the information, you would be willing to rent a private jet, of course, stop and pick up Tom because he didn't invite you here, and then fly anywhere in the world just to have the longest meeting with Chris or Karina. So Margaret, let's kick it off with you. And how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Karina?
Sure. So I took some notes. So Karina, I liked how you started with observing qualities. So I thought that was very helpful. You noted Bella's qualities. I also thought it was very smart that you asked if Bella had a conversation with Sean. I think that's an area that people quite often overlook. They don't speak to the other person. I would avoid the word need. At one point, you said you need to. I do think that that's something sometimes Bella was open to it, but sometimes people may not enjoy being told they need to do something. And then I will say that I like that you also recommended that Bella speak to Sean about his aspirations. That's another area I think people forget to look at, is what the other person's aspirations are. So I thought you did an awesome job, and would definitely have a mochaccino with you.
Let's go. Mochaccino is rocking with Margaret Bellavita. Come on.
Come on. Next up, we got Cara Jean. Cara Jean, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Chris?
Okay. And I would even go so far as to say this is for both of them. Loved both the acknowledgement of the frustrations and then the reframing of how what you are doing could turn it into something better. And I would say, this might be because I'm spicy, but I take the challenge real literal in my brain. It was trying to get a yes. My favorite hack for that is to reflect back what I heard them say rather than just acknowledging it and saying, did I get that right? Because then they get in the habit of saying yes to you. Yeah, that was exactly what I was saying. And that way you can start getting those yeses faster. You guys, I would definitely go get coffee with both of you.
Beautiful. Cara Jean building yes momentum, Bellavita. That's what we're hearing. Excellent. Cara Jean. Come on, Bella.
That is what I'm hearing.
Bella, do you have red hair?
What's that?
Do you have red hair?
Do I?
Yes.
Of course I do.
So you do have red hair? Am I hearing that correctly?
Yes.
Do you live in Colorado?
Yes.
Are you a woman?
Yes.
Excellent. I'm learning. Yes, momentum. Let's go, Belle.
Yes, momentum. You got yes, momentum. Next up, let's go, Bao. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Karina?
This was very powerful because getting to hear people having to go through other people's resistances, that was great. Karina, I thought, again, very powerful because I thought the conversation was really you trying to focus on what Bella's needs were and trying to tease those out, right? The more and more that you draw from the other person to find out exactly what you're looking for. I think, again, because of the scenario was a little contrived, exactly where we were going, exactly what the goal of, but I thought you were carried along nicely in order to lead into potentially would be the next conversation, because Bella did seem to have interest in being able to say, this is what I'm looking for, and I potentially would need help with that. And the next step was pretty much you offering, saying, if you'd like help with that, and then moving on to the Mochaccino coffee date. So well done.
Mochaccino coffee coming up again, Bella. Come on.
All right, next up, we got Alejandro. I know your power cut off, and now you're back. Did you hear Chris or Karina or both?
I heard for the most part both of them. I missed out on the last part of Chris's, though. I thought his was really interesting.
All right, so let's go then. Your 30 seconds of feedback for Karina.
Well, I thought that I thought she did a really good job asking the right questions to make sure that your intentions were not hostile, right? Because here you are, discussing your vision of what you would like to do once, the position that you would like to take. Yet, in there, it could easily be.
Did we lose Alejandro again? Oh, we lost him again. All right, let's go, Connor. Connor, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Chris?
For Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Chris did a great job off the jump discussing his background. I think that immediately validates his understanding of the industry, the landscape, and then leads with a question on how do you feel about the cannabis industry. I thought that was brilliant because now you can figure out kind of what level of friction is going to be involved moving forward with the discussion. I would have loved to see that play out more. I know that's not the exercise, but my point of feedback would be to discuss some more compelling data points about the banking industry getting involved with cannabis, discuss where the legislation arrow is going, and point to all the leverage that you have on the compelling use cases that would help comfort the bank employee based on folks in her own position. Great job.
And the follow-up step, Mocha Choco Latte, Seafood Tower, Private Jet. What's coming next, Connor?
Yeah, mocha latte on the private jet sounds excellent.
Oh, Mocha Choco Latte and a private jet, Bella, Rita. Maybe there's some steak and seafood on there too. Come on.
I am feeling it. Next up, let's go, Mr. Tom Goldstein. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Karina?
Oh, I thought that Karina did a terrific job, I think, of, sort of asking the right questions and where do we're asking Bella, where did you want to go? Also asking, like, have you thought about what Sean wants? And, talking about the different paths, the different approaches that they take. I thought that was sort of a very nice, very artfully done. And I can absolutely see, it was nice to sort of not just see a sales meeting, but to sort of see you in action doing your coaching. I'm going with a Seafood Tower.
Ooh, outstanding, Tom.
Thank you, Tom. And I actually don't coach for a living. It's just something I enjoy doing.
Karina, very impressive. And Tom, Little Lobster, I'm not quite sure what else is in that Seafood Tower. Maybe Alaskan King Crab, a little shrimp. We'll see. But
some oysters for sure.
Gotta have
some oysters.
Gotta have lobster.
Gotta have lobster. It's coming. Tom, you know what time it is? Bella thinks because Karina and Chris stepped onto the hot seat is only hospitable if I do the same myself. Bella, just take it easy on me. It's late in the day. Please, over to you.
I will take it easy on you because my computer is not cooperating with me today. So let's go. Tom is, as you well know, this is the time in the show that I have the honor and privilege of putting my co-host on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about, because Karina, Chris, maybe they knew what they were doing, maybe they didn't. And so we're going to put Sean on the hot seat. Ultimately, Tom, you get to choose what scenario that Sean goes from hello to yes on. You can choose any one of the scenarios that I've come up with, or you can change them, or you can come up with something on your own. Are you ready to hear what I have for today?
Please.
All right. So option number one is I thought Sean could role play Karina going from hello to yes with Michael Smikin, who has been Sean's law partner and has worked at Kelly Law for 12 years. And Sean is going to role play Karina going from hello to yes with Michael on convincing him that it would be a good idea to have Bella Verita take over the law firm instead of him and for his future. So that would be option number one, Tom. Option number two is Sean would role play Chris going from hello to yes with Northeast Bank that is located in his town, going from hello to yes with Northeast Bank on opening up their banking to cannabis banking. So that is option number two. And then option number three, Tom, is I understand companies like Google, Microsoft, they're opening up to DEI and having lots of conversation about DEI. So option number three is Sean would role play Cara Jean going from hello to yes with one of these companies for a speaking engagement on DEI and STEM. So those are the three options I have for you today, Tom. Any of those tickle your fancy, or do you have something much harder you'd like to see Sean do?
Those are great options, and it's not an easy choice, but I'm going to go with number two.
Number two. And who is Sean's going to role play Chris? Who do you want to role play the CEO of Northeast Bank?
How about Margaret?
Margaret, are you up for playing the CEO of Northeast Bank?
Sure, yes.
Excellent. How about your Miss Jones, the CEO? Margaret, does that work for you?
It does. It does.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, is Miss Jones available?
Yes, this is Miss Jones.
Hey, Miss Jones, this is Chris. We had a 3-minute conversation scheduled for today. It's still a good time for you.
Sure. Yeah. 3 minutes. Absolutely. I can do that.
So I'm super grateful. Yeah, super grateful. I will keep to it. I know how busy you are. 2 minutes and 45 seconds and counting. But to serve you, and I'm certainly not here to pitch something. I just want to see if there's an alignment, a synergy that makes sense for the bank. Can I ask what prompted you to say yes to this conversation in the first place? I know the bank has had some friction and resistance around cannabis, but please, I'm very grateful, but what prompted the yes?
Sure. Cannabis is an area that I'm interested in learning about. I'm not comfortable with it yet, but I do always want to understand the opportunities for my bank.
Awesome. And it has this that I know you've been here as a CEO for almost a decade now. You've created some dynamic growth. Incredible. Congratulations. What's the mission, vision, purpose of the bank? I've certainly read online. I've read a number of your blogs. I've certainly watched some of your videos. But if I could hear it, I'm thinking from at least what I'm hearing is that you're very committed to growth. You're very consistent with making sure you control the risk profile of the bank, but you also want to be stepping into innovative areas that you could really see growth in. Am I hearing those things correctly? And anything else I'm missing?
You are. And then another point is although we're a larger bank, we still consider ourselves a community bank. So we want to make sure that we serve our community. And that's another reason why I wanted to speak to you today, because I think a lot of people in our community enjoy cannabis.
Yes. So thank you for that point. And would it be okay if I then share a couple of things in the final minute or so that we have, Ms. Jones, that may or may not resonate with you?
Sure. Yes.
Thank you. So it's extraordinary that you brought up the point of the community bank and where people in the community are. There's a recent survey that was done in the surrounding county, and that said that 68% of all people are in favor of cannabis being appropriately used for medicine, and an extraordinary and whopping 88% of business owners said the same. So you could not be more spot on. I'm not sure if you had read that survey, but you are completely correct. This is where things are. In terms of the risk profile and how to approach cannabis, from my legal background and what we do is we mitigate risk. And the risk mitigation components are extraordinarily more simple than one would otherwise think. And we have that dialed in completely. So the only additional component is the public relations dynamic of entering into a new space that the bank has not been in previously. And as we've already articulated and you've noted, even without me citing that study, that the community is ready for this. And we have a rollout of how to deal with the marketing strategy and structure, as well as the press release component of what this looks like, with a massive amount of empathy and respect present as people move into just what's present and what's real. So with that said, I know we're running a little short on time, Ms. Jones. All that we would simply propose is a 30-minute, a 60-minute, a 2-hour, whatever would work best for you, but happy to do it in 30 minutes, where we could roll out what this would look like to enter into this space with our expertise, which we've done this for 24 banks now, where they've stepped into this new space, as well as hundreds of other corporations. So we have this very clearly mastered. Nothing's ever perfect, but I think you have to look really long and hard to find somebody even close to not only our years in the practice relative to other spaces, but the degree of micro distinctions we've dialed in on. And our simple outcome is to advance the growth and acceleration of your incredible institution and what you're up to. So, Ms. Jones, how would it resonate with you or not to have a 30-minute follow-up conversation or more, all at our own investment of time and energy to build this relationship, please?
Sure. I would absolutely love a 30-minute meeting. I think that your points about data and risk mitigation would be information I'd really like to learn more about.
Awesome. I'm happy to provide. And anything else I can answer for you right now?
No, you really covered a lot in 3.5 minutes. So thank you. I look forward to learning more.
Great. And shall I set that up with your assistant, Joe?
Please, yes.
Thank you. We'll do that. Okay. Out of roll. Margaret, as Ms. Jones, thank you for jumping into that conversation. And how did I do as Chris, having conversations with Ms. Jones, the CEO of the bank?
Is this directed toward me?
Oh, yeah. I'm asking you, Margaret. Yeah.
Oh, sure. Okay. Honestly, I felt like you were very respectful. You touched on the areas that a bank would be concerned about, and you were very likable. Like I wanted to hire you. Like your approach was very nice.
Thank you. Well, I appreciate that. And you are incredibly empathetic, and there's like a resonating, grounding energy about you, Margaret. I mean that sincerely, and thank you for being here today. Great job on the feedback. And how was your time overall on Tom's Heart of Influence, Margaret?
It was great. I really enjoyed meeting everyone and want to stay connected. And Tom, thank you so much for including me.
Well, thank you for that. And let's go, Chris. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate your fun fact. A lot of respect that you had for your brother and fun energy for it. Love the hiking and continuing the relationship journey that you have together. How'd I do as you? And how was your time overall on Tom's Heart of Influence today, Chris?
So, Sean, I was extremely humbled by what just happened. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give that about a 20. You were extremely deferential throughout it. You were very explicit about this not being a pitch, but that you wanted to go forward with something that would align with the bank. And you demonstrated the fact that you had done your research on the bank beforehand, and you immediately addressed the friction points. So that was a learning experience for me, and that was made it very time made it very worthwhile for me. I had a wonderful time here, wonderful group of people here.
Oh, wow. And Chris, thank you. Deeply impressed by you, your background for sure, and for being in innovative space and advancing entrepreneurship, the legal industry. I think is a beautiful and powerful thing. And I'm excited to continue to learn more about what you're up to in the world. And thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank Thank you. Let's go, Kara Jean. Really appreciate your feedback, the yes momentum dynamic, clearly. And how was your time today on Tom's Heart of Influence, Kara Jean?
This was incredible. I don't know what I came in expecting, but this was so much fun. I'm going to just start watching it all of the time. Thank you for exposing me to this. I'm so excited to keep watching this happen.
Oh, wow. Kara Jean, thank you. And I really appreciate it. The dynamic and the distinction of your feedback and your mastery is obvious. And thank you for being here today. Let's go, Connor. Mr. Tiger Beach, that is like imprinted into my nervous system. Wholly extraordinary. And how was your time today, Connor, on Tom's Heart of Influence?
Yeah, I want to thank Tom again for inviting me, and thank you, Sean and Bella, for hosting this. And great to meet the rest of you guys. Certainly hope to stay connected. Had a great time. We'll certainly be a fan and would love to be involved in more. So thanks again. This was great.
Thank you. And Connor, what was the biggest shark? Oh, I'm sorry, Belle. Just biggest shark you saw at Tiger Beach?
16 feet. Pretty big.
1.6?
1.6, yeah.
Wow. I'm sorry, Bella, we spoke simultaneously. Over to you.
Well, that answer even helps me out. So, Connor, do you think the next time that, Sean misbehaves and I get mad at him, that I can convince him to go to Tiger Beach and make friends with a 16-foot shark that has not eaten yet? Do you think that would be a good idea? And then a good attorney that can help me make it look like an accident.
Yeah, you never know. Yeah, stay away from the chum. But take this as your sign. Take this as your sign to go. Worth it.
Thank you.
Worth the risk.
That's awesome, Connor. Yeah. And Miss Bella Verita, over to you.
Yes, and I would never feed you to the shark, Sean, because I do like you most of the time. So
thank you.
Thank you. And let's go, Alejandro. I know you've been in and out. Power's been.
I apologize about that. There's a thunderstorm going on here that just started happening like 20 minutes ago. I really enjoyed it. I've known Tom for a while now. He's one of my favorite guys here in the DMV. I thought it was great. I really, really liked that last role play too, given that I'm a data guy. A data's king, and you approaching it from a risk mitigation standpoint, I think could be really, really helpful for the cannabis industry. To my understanding, what I know about the cannabis industry is that it's a cash only business, and that addresses a real wicked problem because the people who work at these dispensaries and they struggle getting loans and mortgages and various I guess various privileges that everyday employees get, and they don't have that same thing. So I think that's huge. So I love how you approached it from a risk mitigation standpoint. And I honestly think that's the next step. So I really enjoyed it. I apologize again that my power went out a couple times. But no, I thought this was great.
Well, Alejandro, we are super appreciative for you being here. Tom did say that you can control the weather. So the fact that you couldn't is disappointing.
Only in my dreams. Only in my dreams. I thought I could control the weather too. So this was a real lesson in humility today.
Yes, amazing. Thank you, brother. Great job, Alejandro. Bella, you can control the weather. Bella, come on.
I definitely can control the weather for sure. Let's go. Last but not least, before we get to our co-producer, Bahu. How about your 30, not your 30 seconds of feedback, but in your final, how was your time with us on Tom's Heart of Influence?
Yeah, big shout out again to Tom. We met just recently, so thank you very much for the invite. This was awesome. And Sean, you had me at hello because right where asking somebody why they agreed to the 3 minutes, I thought was like that's a shoe and move because you got them opening up right at the very beginning, very similar to what Karina was doing over there as far as getting the other person to speak. I know that so many conversations I've gotten into where I'm trying to bulldoze through and speaking very quickly. Sean, you were like measured every step of the way. And I thought that along with just opening up at the very beginning, that was some classic moves. So great to see in action how it's done.
Thank you. Receive with gratitude. And what we always say is the distinction of integrity is vital, right? Because integrity is transparency, seeking to add more value than we're going to receive, and that the thing that we say could do something can actually do it. So if you ask that question, it's incredibly in integrity because it brings the person back to why they put it in the calendar in the first place. And a lot of times people are so busy, so crazy, and they're like, all right, what's going on? And it's like, wow, well, thank you, but why did you accept this conversation in the first place? And it brings them back to the truth of how they were feeling the moment they said it. So thank you for seeing that. Appreciate that this is a group of very masterful people. We're present to it. And I always say this, the more masterful the people on the show, the more valuable the show is because people get what's happening. So thank you for that, brother. And really great job. And does that bring us to one and only man, Tom Goldstein? Bella.
It does.
Yeah, listen, this guy is brilliant, integrous, heart-centered, and he works incredibly diligently to bring value to people. That's how I relate to Tom. And Tom, thank you for everything you did here today. Definitely everybody connect up and talk, and definitely talk, speak with Tom. And Tom, your final on your show. Really great job, Tom.
Well, Sean, thank you. That means a lot to me. And I really had a great time. Thank you. I want to thank each and every person every one of my guests for joining. I really appreciate your taking the time out. I knew that all of you would bring very positive energy and fun energy, and would just really bring a lot to this show. And I really do hope that some of you get a chance to connect with each other. I will send out I'll send out an email with everyone's contact information. And Sean, that was masterful. And for, I think for the reasons that, people have said, everything from asking, why did you schedule this, to addressing the concerns, not being, aggressive about it. I have learned so much from, being on these shows and my involvement in Unblinded, but I'm just scratching the surface. So it's
thank you.
It's and Bella, thank you for making all the amazing positive energy you bring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot of fun, and I hope everyone had a great time. It sounds like they did.
Yeah, this show, thank you, Tom. This show before Bella was like a good piece of chicken or a good piece of steak that was just sitting there. And Bella has brought so much enrichment, flavor, energy. It's been magic. And she's been on for more than 1,000 episodes now. So Tom, thank you. Masterful Bella as well. We have 3 quick free gifts for you. None of these are funnel or lead magnets, none of that stuff. We have all your contact information anyway. These are real gifts. So the first is that we have this coming Wednesday, our world opens up. Professionals, entrepreneurs will be there. We do a training on influence, 8 a.m. Eastern, and you drop in a breakout room. It's about 45 minutes. And if you thought this was interesting, that will be like next level of value for you. Nothing is sold there. Second, we have our group influence book. This book, what if it is the textbook for you on public speaking, leadership management that is unduplicated anywhere else in the world. We issue that beautiful offer. If you've seen something better, please let us know, because this is the discernment and distinction and distillation of everything for 27 years that I've seen and things that were missing. That's your gift as well because of Tom and today. And finally, we have a business acceleration session for you. Again, nothing sold to you there. You're like, what are you guys up to? We have plenty of things to do together, but we believe integrity is value with transparency. We do want to build lifelong relationships, but only after giving massive value. So the BAS session, the business, or you can go to practice acceleration session if you have a practice, this will unquestionably bring together a ton of things and expose where leakages are, and will be unlike any session you've ever had. When that's done, you'll be like, dude, this is crazy. Or dudette, this is crazy. So those 3 gifts are because of Tom and bringing you here together today, and the gift of your time. Belle, read a quick final as we're a bit over, but these are extraordinary humans, please.
Yes. My quick final is all joking aside, because I tease and joke with Sean quite a bit. However, there really truly is no better heart-centered leader than Sean. I've been here for 3.5 years, and I was very involved in the coaching industry way before I met Sean, and I've never met anyone with the leadership that he has, and the over-giving continues to give more than he takes. I've never seen a coach or a leader just continue to give and give and give. So all joking aside, one of the most incredible leaders, and, you know, has scaled multiple businesses to multiple 7, 8, and 9 figures. So definitely check out the links that he put into the chat, because when I was here and I, thought I was pretty certain I knew everything there was to know about sales and influence. But when I read those books, I really truly discovered there was a lot that was to learn. Yeah, it's because Karajin, my mind was exploded. So definitely check those out. Tom, absolutely phenomenal job. It was such an honor and a privilege to meet each and every one of you, and hope to see you back in the future. And Sean, back to you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Bella. Thank you, everyone. And we end every show by saying this: I may be physically blind, which I am, but as to the possibilities, these possibilities that are so often right in front of us to exponentially grow what we're up to in the world, they're so often right there. But whether we're sighted or not, Bella, whether we're sighted or not, at some level, we're all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, Tom. Great job. Bella, everybody. Thank you. Happy Mastery Monday. Thanks.
Thanks.